So we're going from verse 28. Ya te kanchulir atra sundari maya vaksha jayor arpita Shyama chadana kamyaya kilanasa satyati vijayatam Kintu swamini Krishna eva sahasa tattam avapya swayam Pranebhyo pyadikam swakam nidiyugam Sango payatyeva hi. Verse 28 of Raghunath Das Goswami's Vilap Kusumanjali. So this verse is very confidential. Generally, these things are not spoken so openly in like general assemblies. It's said in a general assembly you can speak about more general topics of Krishna Bhakti. It's said that Mahaprabhu would perform Nam Sankirtan with the general populace or and also devotees. He would perform Nam Sankirtan and some Harikatha. But then with his intimate associates, he would discuss this Braja Ras and Madhurya Ras. So these verses are specifically about intimate Madhurya Ras. And you could say that on one hand, it should not be revealed openly. But on the other hand, if it is not given openly, then it becomes lost. So Gurudev, he published this book, Geet Govinda. And he said, most people are not qualified to read this Geet Govinda, but if I do not publish it, it will become lost. Also, many people who are sahajiyas, cheap imitators, they take advantage of these esoteric scriptures and they make a business out of them, but they're not qualified and they mislead people and end up cheating them. So it's better that real Vaishnavas and the real Vaishnav conception is given, and within that, these things are included. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was criticized by the Sahajiyas and Babajis who were saying that, in the Gaudiya Math, they only chew on the dry seeds, but us Sahajiyas and Babajis were drinking all the juice and the nectar of the mangoes. So Bhaktisiddhanta very strongly wrote against that. He said they do not understand. We are giving the real Siddha Pranali. They will give you for a few rupees, they'll give you your so-called name, spiritual name, Ekadash Bhav. But they're just tricking and cheating the gullible people. But our line is giving the factual process of how to enter into this school of Diksha, and through Japa Sadhana and through Guru Seva and following the process of Bhakti, we'll certainly quickly advance and ultimately achieve these understandings. So we shouldn't stay in the same class forever. We should try to advance. Gurudev would say we shouldn't just remain stuck in learning ABCs for 30 years. Eventually we have to progress forward. And in our path, we are following the path of Braja Bhakti. And so in the path of Braja Bhakti, these services to Srimati Radhika are our aspiration. Therefore we should learn them and not become like phobic or afraid of these things. At the same time, we should not treat them cheaply. We should not treat them cheaply. We should pray with these verses with great reverence, with great honor, and pray for the chance to understand the glory of Krishna and his beloveds. Kaviraj Goswami writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita that he said, on one hand, I am reluctant to write all these intimate details of Radha Krishna's loving affairs because materialists are not qualified for this and they will criticize these or they will try to cheaply imitate. But on the other hand, I'm feeling blissful because I know that if I write this, those devotees who are like cuckoo birds will relish this nectar, while those who are like crows will not be attracted to it. So this Katha in these verses of Vilap Kusumanjali are described to be like the sweetest nectar, but only birds who have an affinity for that kind of nectar will come for it. Those who are crow-like in nature, they are not interested in this Harikatha anyway. They are interested in mundane prajalpa and gossip, so they will not read about this. So therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says, I have so much happiness in my heart knowing that this will be present for those who are... That's why he published it openly in Chaitanya Charitamrita and other books. He said it will be available for those who are qualified to accept it, and the qualification is simply greed. Those who are greedy for it and want to serve in Braja Ras, then they are qualified for this. So we'll go forward. So Raghunath prays in this verse 28, O beautiful Srimati Radhika, when I gave you your bodice, I did not desire that Shyam would not see your breasts. However, I wanted him to come and become your bodice himself. In this way, Krishna himself should come and embrace you, because you are more dear to him than his very life. So in Krishna, you yourself should become her blouse. So that's why when Radhika is dressing in her blue sari, she feels like Shyam himself is embracing her. So this is the desire of Das Goswami. He says, when they are dressing Srimati Radhika, they don't want this to become some kind of barrier between the meeting of Radha and Krishna. That ultimately this is a ornament to enhance their Shringar Ras. So Shringar Ras means the intimate meeting of Radha Krishna. But Shringar also means to dress and decorate. So they're saying, when I decorate Krishna, when I dress Srimati Radhika, this dressing of Srimati Radhika does not create any barrier between her and Krishna. Ultimately, when Radha Krishna meet, then there should be no barrier between them. Okay, so we should not try to falsely meditate upon this until we've cleansed the heart from our anarthas like lust, greed, anger. But we can pray with these verses. Means we do not imagine that we are there or something. We can pray and meditate. These verses are given by Raghunath as a guiding path, a lamp guiding the pathway to Radhadasyam. So if he did not give these to us, then we would not be studying them. But our own Goswamis have given us this treasure, therefore we should certainly honor and study it. So we'll go to the next verse, verse 29. Nana mani prakara gumpita charu pustya mukta shrajastava suvakshasi hema gauri shrantya abritta asalasa mukunda sutlikalyam kim kalpayishyati taram tavadasikeyam. O Hema Gauri, golden complexion girl, when you are tired of your loving affair with Sri Krishna, then you lie down on the pillow of Mukunda's chest, which is as soft as cotton. When will this maidservant decorate your beautiful chest with a charming necklace of pearls strung with different gems? So this verse goes both ways, which means that sometimes Radhika will rest on Krishna's chest like a pillow, and sometimes Krishna on Radhika's chest like a pillow. So he's praying, at that time when you are resting, may I be able to serve you. 1 second, lost my place. Okay, so we're just going to go through a few more verses. We're going to go to verse 30. Mani chaya kachita bir nila chudavali bir haridhaita kalavid dvandvam indi varakshi apibatatava divyar angulir anguliyar kvachidapi kilakale bhushayishyami kimnu. O lotus-eyed Srimati Radhika, when will I... Oh, I keep losing my spot. Sorry. My computer's broken, so I'm still trying to figure out how to use Word on a phone. Okay. Which verse are we up to? 30. Sorry here. Okay. So he's praying, when will I decorate your fingers with many shiny glimmering rings and your arms with armlets studded with jewels, blue armlets. All of Radhika's ornaments are reminding her of Krishna. So even her armlets are bluish colored. Radhika is always dressing in something blue to remind her of Krishna, and Krishna is always dressing in pitambar, something to remind him of the golden complexion of Srimati Radhika. So Gurudev or Prabhuji also mentions that sometimes they will give these rings to Radhika's hands, and then when they're bathing, they'll take them off. Sometimes Krishna will wear them. Sometimes they'll exchange necklaces by accident, and then Krishna will go home, and sometimes they also exchange cloth. Prabhuji tells the story that was also in Chamatkar Chandrika, that one time Radharani was in her room in Javat, and Jatila came into the room, and she saw Radha is wearing this pitambar, yellow cloth. And why is he wearing the yellow cloth? This is Krishna's cloth. So immediately she was suspicious and said, it smells like Shyam in the room also. So then Lalita Vishaka began to tease her, saying, you're always thinking of Shyam. You're criticizing us, but you're so absorbed in Shyam, even though he is not present, you're completely Krishna conscious. That's why even in jealousy, anyhow, you should be Krishna conscious. So Jatila is always like critical of Srimati Radhika, but anyhow, she's always thinking of Krishna. So therefore, she is perfectly Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada would say that anyhow we should become Krishna conscious, whether out of love or out of jealousy. just become Krishna conscious. Krishna says, if you are thinking about me, then you'll come to me. Especially if you think about me in your life, and when you die, then after your death, you'll certainly come to my transcendental abode and be happy forever. So Jatila is always Krishna conscious. Whenever she sees Radhika, she becomes Krishna conscious. And so the gopis are also happy. But at the same time, she's criticizing Srimati Radhika, oh, why are you wearing this cloth that is Shyam's? So then very quickly, Rupa Manjari or sometimes Rati Manjari will run back to Nandagram or to the Kunj or to find Krishna on the pathway and switch the cloth. So sometimes Krishna, by mistake, he is very quickly, in the morning time when we do Mangal Arati of Radha Krishna, at Mangal Arati time, then after, this is in the Kunj, Radha and Krishna are woken, this is Yugal Arati in the Kunj. And then quickly Krishna runs back to Nanda Bhavan and quickly Radhika runs back to Javat. So sometimes they're dressing and going so quickly that they wear each other's chadar, anchal or shawl. And so sometimes Krishna mistakenly wears the blue cloth of Srimati Radhika and Radhika wears the yellow cloth of Krishna, the Bidnambar. And so the Yashoda sees Krishna wearing the blue cloth and thinks, why is Krishna wearing blue? And she asks, and then they say, oh, this must be Baladev's, because Baladev also wears blue cloth. They say, okay, no problem, this is Baladev's cloth. When he was out in the forest, he took Baladev's blue cloth. But for Radhika, it's not so easy. It's not, Radhika's brother is not wearing yellow and Ananga Manjari is not wearing yellow or Pitambar. So immediately, and also Shyam's fragrance is very strong. Krishna has a very wonderful fragrance. So Jatila immediately says, oh, the fragrance of Shyam is in the room. And so she said, oh, you must be wearing. So then what they do is, immediately the different gopis surround Jatila and say, oh, Jatila, you must be very tired. You've been out in the fields and the sun is giving you like a stroke. So they surround her and start to like help her massage her. Let us bring you some cool water. You must have a sunstroke. And now you're seeing blue as yellow and you're smelling the smell of Shyam even though there's nothing here. So they say, look, it's just a trick of the light. The light's streaming in, and so this bluish cloth of Srimati Radhika appears golden. So they distract her very quickly. As they're distracting her and they're making her like think she's hallucinating or something or like very tired, then they quickly switch Radhika's shawl back to her bluish cloth. So they sent the Manjari to bring it back from Krishna, but in the meantime, Radhika has other cloth. So they very quickly switch the cloth. They just quickly distract Jatila and make her somehow question her like intelligence or her perception, and then they show, look, see, she is wearing her blue chadar. So in this verse, it's said that sometimes when they give the rings to Srimati Radhika or the necklaces or the cloth, that at the time of Nishanta Lila, when they wake and go back to their homes, then sometimes they'll switch their cloth. And so then they have to, this is just to enhance their sweet pastimes. So it said if Radha Krishna were in Swakiya Ras, their sweetness wouldn't be like, we wouldn't have these sweet pastimes. If Radha Krishna were married and they were always staying together in Nanda Bhavan, then there would be no problem. But these sweet pastimes that we find in Parakiya Ras would not exist. So that's why Parakiya Ras is the topmost Ras. Jaya Jaya Jvala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajate Prachar. That's why Parakiya Ras is topmost. So we'll go to 31. There's some interesting points. We'll cover more, but in the meantime, we'll keep going forward, okay? Verse 31. Padam bhoje mani maya tulakoti jugme na jatnad abhyarchaitad dalakulam api prista padanguliyai kanchi damna katitatam idam prema pitam sunetre kam sarate ratulam achirat archayishyami kimte. O beautiful-eyed Srimati Radhika, when will I worship your two lotus feet with jeweled anklets and the petals of your lotus feet with toe rings? With a splendid belt or mekhala, when will I worship your hips, the sacred pilgrimage place of Kamsari, the enemy of Kamsa? So in this verse he's praying to give her the jeweled anklets, toe rings, and a belt. So this is part of Srimati Radhika's Shringar. So actually all the way up to 44, 45 is describing Radhika's Shringar. That's why the Shringar of Srimati Radhika is one of the main sevas of the Manjaris. Like 25 verses or so are describing how they dress Srimati Radhika in the morning, how they bathe, massage, and dress Srimati Radhika in the morning. So that's why if we really want to enter into this service to Srimati Radhika, that we should daily pray with these verses or similar verses. We don't have to speculate or imagine, but just simply praying with these verses and understanding the meaning will very quickly help us progress and increase our greed. Like I was saying before, every day Prabhuji is reading these verses. And before in Mathura, we'd had a vrat where every day we sang the entire Vilap Kusmanjali. We did it for like 2-3 months. And a few different times in Mathura between 2005 and 2012 when we were there. There was a couple times where every day we would sing the entire Vilap Kusmanjali, 104 verses. Very sweet. We should ask Prabhuji, maybe we'll do that again soon. So there's many other wonderful books. Radharasa Sudhanidhi is considered to be one of the crest jewels of all the Gaudiya Granthas. And Krishna Karnamrita is one of the crest jewels. Mahaprabhu himself brought it. But of all the books for the followers of Rupa Goswami, the Rupanugas, they especially worship Vilap Kusmanjali because this is written by the best of the Rupanugas, Raghunath Das Goswami or Rati Manjari. So this is perfectly in line with our desired aspiration to become Palyadasis of Srimati Radhika. So we'll stop here today. Radhe Radhe everybody. Please subscribe to our channel down there. Hit the bell icon for notifications. And if you already subscribed, share with your friends. Like, comment. That would be awesome. Thanks so much.